Welcome to today's 5-minute Bible study in the book of Ruth. Today we're in Ruth chapter 3. We're picking up our reading at verse 9. Now we saw in yesterday's session that Ruth has come to Boaz to make a bold request. She's asking Boaz to redeem her and to take her as his wife. We saw that very unusual way of doing this, coming to him during the celebration on the threshing floor, and then laying down at his feet and asking him to be my redeemer, to take me as your wife. Now notice how Boaz responds. That's where we pick up the reading at verse 9. Boaz asked, "Who are you?" When he realized that there was a woman lying at his feet. "Who are you?" "I am your servant Ruth," she said. "Spread the corner of your garment over me, since you are my kinsman redeemer for the family." Now this is absolute certainty that Ruth is requesting that he redeem her and take her as his wife. To spread the cover over me, to spread the corner of your cover over me, is to take me under your care, to accept me as your wife. You are the redeemer of our family. So this is the heart of the request. This is the heart of her prayer, that Boaz will redeem her and take her as his wife. It is, as we said yesterday, a bold request, indeed an audacious request. Boaz is pleased. "The Lord bless you, my daughter," he said. "This kindness is greater than that which you showed me earlier." In other words, what you are requesting of me is a great kindness. He says, "You have not run after the younger men, whether rich or poor. And now, my daughter, do not be afraid. I will do for you all that you ask." Boaz is honored that she would ask of him that he would redeem her and take her as his wife. He says, "You didn't run after the younger men." Now this leads us to understand that Boaz is much older than Ruth. And so it might have been expected in the natural order of things that Ruth would have preferred a younger man. But she has chosen Boaz because of the kind of man he is, the kind of character he has, and that he can be her redeemer. He says, "I will do for you what you ask. I will redeem you." He goes on to say, "For all the people of my town know that you are a woman of noble character." And indeed, she is. And so he is pleased that she would ask this of him, that he would redeem her and make her his wife. And he says, "I will do it." However, there's one obstacle in the way. He goes on to say, "It is true that I am a kinsman redeemer of the family, but there is another member of the family who is more closely related than I. So stay here for the night, and in the morning, if he wants to do his duty as your redeemer, well, then he can. But if he is not willing, as surely as the Lord lives, I will do it. Lie here until the morning." Now, the reason he wants her to stay there is because he doesn't want any harm to come to her at night. But he has her to get up early in the morning and return home before she is recognized. He doesn't want any scandal connected with her. Nothing wrong has occurred, but you know how people gossip. And Boaz is concerned for her reputation. And so early in the morning, he sends her away. He does give her some grain, and he says, "Go back to your mother-in-law. I will take care of this today." So we pick up the reading in verse 16. Ruth comes to her mother-in-law Naomi, and Naomi asked, "How did it go?" Then she told her everything Boaz had done for her. And she says, "He gave me these 6 measures of barley and said, 'Take this back to your mother-in-law.'" So Naomi said, "Wait, my daughter, and find out what happens, for this man will not rest until the matter is settled today." So things have to be taken care of. There's protocol that has to be followed. There are procedures that must be enacted. And Boaz has promised Ruth, "I will take care of it quickly." And indeed, Naomi says he will. He will take care of it today. As we start chapter 4 in tomorrow's session, we'll see how Boaz moves quickly to take care of this matter and to become the redeemer for Ruth and for her family. So join us next time for our 5-minute Bible study in the book of Ruth.